Okay, in this video, what we're going to cover is momentum, and we're going to go old school again. Don't worry, I'm going to get you to some fancy stuff here in a little bit if you've been following these in order. Going to use the dry erase board again, but what I want to talk to you about is momentum. Now, momentum is a very, very real thing, and in most cases, the majority of people sign up the majority of their personals in their first 30 to 90 days. Okay, so it's an important window that we have to condense. The other thing I'm going to throw out there that you should never forget is if you want massive action, if you want massive results, you have to take massive action. If you want massive results, you have to take massive action. Now, there are some things that encouraged me along the way once I found out these kind of principles, or I would call them almost absolute truths, of creating momentum in my business, and it had to do with, again, the law of large numbers. Now, we've all seen these types of graphs, right? So we're gonna go like this, and basically here's your start position. The problem is up here we're gonna put this as an E as your effort level. So hopefully you can see that good. You got your effort level, and down here at the bottom we have R for results. Now, the majority of people want the results to be huge without putting the effort in. It's like asking for heat from a fire that you didn't cut the wood and start the fire to begin with. So you have to understand that at the very beginning, your effort level has to be up here, okay? If this is 10, you gotta be, if you wanna get this thing off the ground to where it actually creates a life of its own quicker, okay, than the majority of things, then this is how I have approached it, okay? Now, how much energy is exerted on takeoff on a carrier jet, like the jet taking off of an aircraft carrier? It's all of its momentum and thrust is at the very beginning, and then it cruises, right? Did you know 80% of all fuel is used in a launch of like the space shuttle in its launch? It's 80% of the fuel is used during launch. That means that you have to put the most amount of effort in my opinion, right out of the gates when you're most enthusiastic, when you're most bulletproof of people, when you totally believe in your dreams here. And then there's a reason for that. Because your effort level kind of will go like this, right? You'll start to go and you'll get some people, and then kind of it starts to, kind of taper down as far as like personal momentum. Because if you're doing this right and your team starts to grow, pretty soon you're putting more time into a lot more time in your team. But never ever go back on the fundamentals. Okay, never get away from the fundamentals of building your business and doing the core task right activities. But what happens is your effort level or your results level will be like this. Okay, and eventually they kind of intersect right up here, and then this would just kind of keep on going, and this might stay forever. The problem is right here is the valley of death in network marketing. Because most people put their effort in, and they got a check for 50 bucks here, and they keep putting more effort in, and maybe they made 100 here, and the following month they didn't put as much effort in, and they made $75 here, and they're like, this thing doesn't work, and out they go, right? Just being real. The thing is the ones that know these principles, and they start to continually put the effort in, one a month, or whatever it might be, that kind of thing. I know I always talk to Power of One, but my opinion is that I like to launch my business. And I've learned the harder and faster I launch in the beginning, the quicker I get to this. What most people do is they are here, and then there's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and they haven't got any kind of momentum, any kind of team built. You have to get out of the gates quick, because then this thing will take off, okay? So understanding that this is how it works. It is literally the law of large numbers, that once those numbers take over for you, you're going to start to look, you're going to getting paid more than you're worth. You're going to look smarter than you are in most cases, because you just activated the principles, the law of large number principles. But in my opinion, you should put the most amount of time and effort in the beginning, right when you get started. Or if you've been in for a little while and you're frustrated and you're watching these trainings, it's okay to say today's day one. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I've done that plenty of times. In fact, I do it usually multiple times in my businesses. That's why I go to events. When there's a large event coming up, it's a way for me to refocus on that enthusiasm that I had in the beginning, to get out of the kind of the monotony, but get that pump, get that competition going, see other people, and then boom, it takes off. Okay, so you just want to make sure that you know, you put a realistic expectation of getting these things going, and put that massive action in as quickly as possible, as soon as possible, so that you can get this thing off the ground quicker. Okay, now we're going to go into some more advanced stuff. I kind of wanted to run through the basics, but if you've been this so far, hopefully you're getting this, you're understanding this, and now we're going to start turning it up a notch. All right, so I'll see you on the other videos.